Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today, Emmerdale delivered another jaw-dropping twist this week as Lewis finally discovered the truth about his parentage, and nothing could have prepared him for the revelation that Kev, the troubled and unpredictable villager, is actually his biological father. The storyline, months in the making, exploded in an emotional and heart-pounding episode that left viewers stunned and left Lewis questioning his entire identity. For weeks, hints about Lewis's mysterious past have been scattered across the village, with whispers, guarded glances, and quiet arguments pointing toward a secret long buried. But it wasn't until tensions reached a breaking point between Kev and several residents that the full truth erupted to the surface. The drama began when Lewis confronted Ruby, who had recently been acting oddly distant around him. Ruby, who has been entangled in the mess of secrets involving Kev, Caleb, and Anya, finally reached her breaking point. After days of guilt and pressure, she could no longer carry the weight of the truth she had been asked to bury. In a heated moment, Ruby let it slip that Lewis's life has never been what he thinks, prompting Lewis to demand answers. At first, Ruby tried to backtrack, but the damage was done, and Lewis, already sensing that the village had been keeping something from him, pressed harder. The more he pushed, the more panicked Ruby became, until she broke down entirely and told him to speak to Kev. Lewis, confused, angry, and terrified, stormed straight to Kev's house. Kev, already dealing with his own emotional turmoil after numerous reckless decisions and violent outbursts, was visibly shaken when Lewis arrived demanding the truth. At first, Kev tried to deflect, insisting it was not the time for such a conversation. But Lewis refused to leave without answers. The confrontation escalated quickly. Lewis accused Kev of knowing something about his past, something huge, something life-changing. When Kev attempted to walk away, Lewis stopped him and shouted, "Just tell me why everyone is acting like I'm some kind of time bomb. What are you hiding from me?" Kev froze. The raw pain in Lewis's voice struck him with full force. And in that moment, Kev knew the truth could not be buried any longer. With shaking hands and a voice barely above a whisper, Kev finally confessed, "Because you're my son." The room fell silent. Lewis stared at him, stunned, unable to process what he had just heard. His world shattered in seconds. The man he had feared, judged, and criticized, the man whose decisions had caused chaos in the village, was the very person responsible for his existence. At first, Lewis didn't believe him. He accused Kev of lying to gain sympathy or manipulate him. But Kev, tears in his eyes, explained everything: the brief relationship he had with Lewis's mother, the reason she kept the pregnancy a secret, and his own guilt about not being part of Lewis's life. Lewis's anger quickly turned into heartbreak. "You knew," he said quietly. "All this time, you knew I was your son and you said nothing." Kev admitted he had found out only recently but lacked the courage to tell him. Fear, shame, and years of unresolved trauma had kept him silent. But Lewis didn't accept that excuse, not when the truth had turned his entire life upside down. The emotional fallout was powerful. Lewis stormed out of the house, overwhelmed and shaking, unsure of whether he should be furious, relieved, betrayed, or simply numb. As he wandered through the village, scenes of his childhood, memories of unanswered questions, and years of confusion played through his mind in a dizzying blur. Word spread quickly through Emmerdale, and reactions were explosive. Ruby felt guilty for triggering the revelation, while Aaron and Robert, who had grown increasingly wary of Kev's behavior in recent months, worried about how the news would affect Lewis, a young man already vulnerable and struggling with his sense of belonging. Meanwhile, Kev spiraled. The weight of the truth, combined with Lewis's reaction, pushed him into one of his darkest emotional states yet. He confided in Chaz, admitting he feared he had ruined any chance at a real relationship with his son. Chaz, trying to remain supportive, urged him to give Lewis space and time. But Lewis wasn't just processing the truth, he was questioning everything. His identity, his relationships, his decisions, all of it felt unstable now. In a tearful moment alone at the Woolpack back room, he whispered to himself, "Who am I now?" The episode ended on a powerful cliffhanger, with Lewis sitting alone by the footbridge, staring into the water while Kev watched from a distance, too afraid to approach but unable to walk away. Fans are already calling this twist one of the most emotional and gripping developments of the year. With Lewis's future hanging in the balance and Kev desperate for forgiveness, the storyline promises even more explosive drama in the episodes to come.